Hey guys, Nathan here. I want to talk through my winter camping sleep gear equipment test I just performed. Here you see the equipment specs of the equipment I actually tested. The current test environment is at my house in my backyard. I'm actually doing two tests in this video, one at 6:30 p.m. and one at 10 o'clock p.m. You can see here the temperatures and the clothing that I wore during the test. The criteria for the test basically lay in the hammock for approximately 30 minutes, then discuss how cold or hot or normal I felt during the test and any cold spots or perceived problems that should be noted, and then rate each piece of equipment A to F. So let's go ahead and start the first 30-minute test here. I'll show you the video for that. Okay, so outside temperature looks like right at 20 degrees according to that. It's actually colder. So it's actually colder in the hammock, so we'll see. Whew. They're coming in now. We're going to zip these all the way up and just see how it goes with them completely zipped. So in here, and probably what I'm going to do is make sure the sides of my top quilt are tucked down around my feet. Got my legs all the way up. You can see how it looks inside the hammock. All down my foot box. Got everything tucked in on the sides. This is the Spindrift covering, and kind of interesting. This is supposed to help raise the temperature, having the Spindrift around the hammock to not let air penetration in around the hammock. It's supposed to raise the temperature in here versus outside temperature around 15 to 20 degrees. So we'll see how that goes. I don't feel any air movement. It definitely feels cool out here. I mean, it's 22 degrees outside, so. Hey guys, it's been 30 minutes and I am very happy and pleased with the results of this test. I don't know how well you can see me, but it's a full moon night and it's actually pretty bright in here, for all things considered. But I will go ahead and turn on my headlamp. There we go. Tilt it up. So I did about 30 minutes and I'll kind of go over everything. Let me look real quick. So just being in the Spindrift, from the outside temperature to in here, it did actually go up about 15, maybe as much as 18 degrees. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't think it would actually go up that much. I do feel a lot of moisture right here where my mouth was, where I was breathing. I do feel a lot of moisture on the inside of the Spindrift. I can see where, you might actually have to vent this thing to keep too much moisture from building up. I'll just kind of go over how I feel about everything. I'll start with my feet. I did feel a little bit of cold air, not much, just a tiny bit around my feet. And I think it's where I have the Enlightened Revelation top quilt with a zipper and a cinched up foot box, and the cinch up will get it closed to about 2 inches, and that's about it. And then so you have about a 2-inch hole where the foot box is, where some cold air can get through, and I think that cold air is what I was feeling on my feet. But it wasn't that bad, and I probably could simply put a clip or something on that 2-inch hole and just squeeze it shut, and I'll be fine there. My feet overall were fine, warm. under my calves, which is usually a sore spot, you know, sleeping in a hammock or whatever, very warm, because basically the top quilt is tucked all the way around my legs, and my calves feel right now really warm, like toasty warm. All the way up to my thighs actually feels toasty warm, where I've taken the top quilt and kind of tucked it down around my legs. My butt feels fine, but from about the small of my back up to my shoulders, I was noticing that it felt a little cool. I wouldn't call it cold, I would just say it's a little cool. So that's where the Warbonnet underquilt, the Lynx underquilt should have been working and helping me stay warm under there. Out where my elbows, like my elbows poke out to the side and push against the kind of the side of the hammock, and I was kind of laying in the coffin box type position with my hands underneath the top quilt, straight down, crossed over my stomach. But where my elbows were, the points of my elbows, that area felt cold also. What I would do in the future is bring along like a 36-inch to 40-inch piece of foam pad, and just like the foam pad you buy at Walmart, and the camping foam pad you buy there for about 20 bucks to 30 bucks. I just bring them about a yard long piece of that and put it side to side, so that, you know, under my back and my elbows would stay warm. I'd be really good there. My face felt cold. I definitely want to do something else, you know, besides just this toboggan from my face and head. And I'd want something that went down into my jacket, that kept the back of my neck and kept my throat area. Overall, I felt like I could do this all night long, to be honest. We're right at the limit of the Enlightened equipment top quilt. I give this top quilt an A+. I mean, it's just a killer. It's supposed to. I wouldn't want to not have this nano puff jacket on. I think you need that. Everywhere else I felt warm. I felt like I was indoors in my own bed. I mean, it felt that good. So, okay, outside temperature on this thermometer. Okay, it shows it right at around 18 degrees. So that sounds about right. It's been 30 minutes. Turn back on my light here. Adjust that up. It's been 30 minutes since being out in the 14-degree outside temperature. Inside temperature here looks like right at 30 degrees. So again, it's like what's that, 16 degrees. So the Spindrift sock, it adds 15 degrees, if not up to 18 degrees inside here of temperature versus outside. So you see a lot of moisture. I don't know if you can pick it up with a camera, but there's a lot of moisture in here from my breath, and I can kind of see how that's somewhat of a problem, because it gets really damp in here as you breathe. But you can see my head's wrapped up really well with the scarf, and I got the top quilt pulled up here close to the end of my shoulders. I had it all the way up here to the edge of my chin, and I gotta tell you, I feel perfectly fine right now. I feel like I could stay out here all night. It's 14 degrees out, warm. I feel adequate, I guess you'd say. This foam pad definitely helped keep my shoulders and my back warm. I was cold before. I don't think you could make it with the Lynx underquilt at under 25 degrees without this blue foam pad from like Walmart or somewhere. I just take it and almost cut it in half and have about 36 to 40 inches to go width-wise under my shoulders and under my back, and that makes all the difference. Makes up for the difference where the underquilt can't keep you warm. And then the change I made to my foot box on my top quilt, where I pinched that hole closed, that made all the difference for my feet. I didn't feel any cold on my feet. Now where my heels touched, the heels are kind of like a sharp point, and just like your elbows touching, you almost need like a foam pad under your that one area of your feet, just where your heels touch. Overall, I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of amazed that you can stay out in 14-degree temperatures and in a hammock and be perfectly fine. I think with the right clothing on, and a good top quilt, a good underquilt, a foam pad, all the holes sealed off, and both the top quilt and underquilt being full length. Having the Spindrift around the hammock to keep the airflow out. I mean, all in all, great system. Yeah, the one thing I'm thinking about buying now, if I ever end up in this kind of weather, is a full headpiece that would actually cover up almost my complete face, and I would have it to where I could breathe out and breathe out my mouth, because you don't want to trap the moisture. But you could have almost everything else covered up, your neck all the way down, the top of your head and your forehead, because your head does get cold.